is Jamie Montgomery live, Weazel 14 News. We are joining you or bringing you live a police pursuit coming out of Los Santos this afternoon. This pink sports car below us here is being driven by a man accused of armed robbery and also possibly homicide. He's currently fleeing north out of Los Santos. We don't know if the car is his or if it is stolen at this time. The LSPD units have backed off at this time to hand the police over to the San Andreas State Police. There should be units staging up ahead here. I'm looking around to see if I see them. There should be there's a unit coming on the highway right there. And we do have a unit involved now as the suspect continues to drive very recklessly along the highway. Units of the San Andreas State Police will give him some room. They don't want him to feel cornered, so he doesn't do anything desperate. We will, of course, keep an eye on him from the sky here. The suspect is considered armed and dangerous, so units will stay back and use caution, as will we. We are continuing northbound on the Los Santos Freeway this evening, heading out of Los Santos, pursuing a suspect wanted in connection with armed robbery and also possibly homicide at this time. Bringing you this live, Weazel 14 News. You can see we are coming into the Blaine County area now. Other units of the San Andreas State Police will be involved shortly. You can see one unit is behind the vehicle, keeping a good distance. He is closing a little. Looks like the suspect is coming into Sandy Shores at this time. He's taken the Sandy Shores exit. Looks like he is getting off at Route 68. Taking a left onto 68. Almost hit the wall there. Is continuing down 68. Just across. Oh, that truck there. What's going on with that truck there? That truck is stopped and is blocking officers from proceeding. The suspect vehicle is continuing northbound on Panorama. Is coming to a stop at this gas station here. He's exited the vehicle and is on foot. Oh my god, he is stealing the vehicle. He just stole a vehicle from the Flywheels gas station and is continuing northbound on Panorama. Looks like he's now turned onto Joshua. He's headed back towards the highway through Sandy Shores. He's continuing eastbound on Joshua. He is eastbound on Joshua at this time. He just stole a vehicle from a civilian. I don't know if officers were able to get around that jackknife truck. I don't know what happened with that truck. He might have swerved to avoid the oncoming car. We are continuing eastbound on Joshua. Does sound like some units are in pursuit. Looks like, yeah, we do have another unit on scene now. It does look like he's a Phoenix. He's just blowing right across all 4 lanes of traffic on the 13, continuing eastbound on Union Road. So he's headed north on Union now. North on Union. Continuing north. Headed back towards the highway again. He's crossing Grapeseed Avenue at this time. Still continuing northbound on Union. Just almost lost it there. He's flying, just cut off that Regina. Headed northbound on 13 now, north on 13. There are some state police units now turning. He's got a pretty wide lead on them now. There should be some other units up ahead. There, I believe the SASP is going to try to get out in front of him and stage some units. We're coming into Braddock Pass at this time. Still headed north on the 13. Transitioning onto the Great Ocean Highway here soon. See the vehicles directly below us. For those just joining us, this suspect is chase originated in Los Santos. The person we're pursuing here is wanted in connection with armed robbery and also possibly homicide. There's our unit there, or there's our suspect there. As a unit of the Paleto Bay Police Department, just come onto the highway to attempt to continue the pursuit. We're heading into Paleto Bay this time. We just passed the camp off 13. We do have a unit in pursuit here. The Paleto Bay officer is definitely staying a lot closer. We're seeing some different tactics from the Paleto Bay Police Department here. We are still continuing northbound on the 13. Actually, we're on the Great Ocean Highway now. We're coming into Paleto Bay where it narrows to 1 lane. Speeds appear to be in excess of 80 to 90 miles an hour. Just passing the Ron station on Great Ocean Highway. He is continuing on the Great Ocean Highway. Got one unit in pursuit still. There are others. He just turned. Okay, he tried to juke the unit there. He just turned on to, I believe that's the Luz, and is now headed back down Polito Boulevard. The Polito unit is still in pursuit. Coming up on Procopio now, where he is taking a right. And headed back down, southbound now on the Great Ocean Highway. Still driving very recklessly, speed still in excess of 80 to 90 miles an hour. He's having some difficulty getting around this, getting around that vehicle there. Polito unit. Traffic is a little heavy here. They're keeping up with him pretty good, though. Headed back towards Braddock Tunnel. If the police are going to make a play, this would be the place to do it. No room for him to maneuver there. They may be able to set up spikes or stop sticks. We're going to pursue him best of our ability. We may lose him in the tunnel. Crossing onto the railroad tracks, headed back into Braddock Pass now. We're coming up on the entrance of the tunnel. One unit directly in contact with him as he proceeds into the tunnel. We have lost visual as he proceeds into the tunnel. Looks like he is continuing on out of the tunnel now. He just lost it into the median there. Just went around a roadblock. I've lost contact with him, quite honestly. There he is. Is that him? No, I don't believe that's him. Where are our units at? Oh, there they are. Okay, there he is. There he is. He wrecked out into the shrubs, and I didn't see him there. We do have units on scene now. We can see there is one person in the vehicle. He does have his hands raised at this time. Our units with the SASP, they are attempting to form a perimeter. They do have the suspect at gunpoint. They do have the suspect at gunpoint at this time. Officers are moving up on the vehicle. The suspect still has his hands in the air. One officer is providing cover while another moves up. They have him out of the car now. Have him out of the car at this time. Looks like they're getting him into custody. And they've got him in custody. Alright, SASP got him stopped just south of Braddock Pass. Got him off the road there. Looks like he wrecked out at the end, a dramatic end to this chase that started in Los Santos, led all the way through Blaine County and back down towards Los Santos. Jamie 14, Weazel News, coming to you live. Looks like they've got this situation under control. So we're going to go ahead and hand it back to you in the studio. This is Jamie Montgomery live with Weazel 14 News, coming to you over the Pier of Los Santos, where terrorist activity has erupted aboard the Daisy Lee. The counterterrorism task force is reportedly en route to invest the ship and remove the terrorist threat. We don't know exactly what threats have been made at this time. However, we are led to believe that there may be explosive charges aboard the ship at this time, and there may actually be either biological or chemical weapons being shipped aboard the ship. We're not sure if the terrorists are preparing to scuttle the ship if they're boarded, or if they're going to make a fight of it. We are trying to bring you live images from here. We may be ordered off at some point by the police or the Port Authority, but at this time, we are in position and able to bring you live images. We can see crew on the ship. They do appear to be armed. We will relay as much information to the police as we can. We are awaiting the arrival of the SWAT team at this time. I do not know exactly when they will arrive. We do hear shots at this time, however. It appears that they may have boarded the ship. Checking the area here. It's a maze down there. It's going to be very difficult for the officers to clear. We can see there it is. There's a police boat passing below us at this time here, probably patrolling to make sure no one jumps overboard and tries to swim away. There's some shots fired right there. I do see what I believe is a police officer exchanging fire with terrorists. Near massive shots in the area down there. I see muzzle flashes coming from near the container. Right there, the red one, where I'm looking currently. There are massive amounts of shooting here. It's like we may also be taking fire. They haven't struck us yet, and they have fired on the police boat as well. We are going to stay on scene, however, despite the danger to ourselves. Unsure if what we're looking at here is a terrorist or a police officer. I believe that is one of the terrorists. I'm not sure. Let's see here, we do have, there are still shooters. That man right there is firing from the top of the superstructure down at officers. I'm going to switch over to our thermal view here to see what we can see in regard to people on the ship. There is the Bearcat there, so I don't know if the SWAT team has actually boarded yet at this time or not, or if the terrorists were just firing their weapons for the hell of it. Undisciplined terrorists. Hard to tell what they might do. There is the SWAT team's Bearcat there. Here's a civilian has disregarded the safety warnings and has entered the area. Some of that fire does appear to be directed at us. Bearcat is moving again. Officer is dismounted from the Bearcat there. I believe they're going to move forward using it as cover. Just heard an explosion as well. We still have multiple people on the ship here. Did see some movement back there as well. That particular gentleman continues to fire at us. They are firing out towards the police officers as well. Very difficult to see into the shadows here. I'm going to go ahead and use the thermal vision again for a moment here. See multiple shooters. Police officers there behind the Bearcat as well. That's definitely fire coming in at us. We will maintain our position, bring you live coverage of this unfolding firefight between the Counterterrorism Task Force and terrorists aboard the Daisy Lee in the port of Los Santos. It does appear that they have this. The police appear to have dispatched a sniper to the top of the crane. They are firing on him at this time. He's firing from an elevated position onto the terrorists below him. They have definitely noticed him and opened fire on him. Oh, that one is down. We're going to go ahead and look away from that now. To one of these gentlemen over here. We will continue to bring live coverage of these unfolding events. The fisheries boat is continuing to patrol the water to make sure none of these terrorists get away. Oh, another one just went down. That man right there seems to be moving away. He's displacing towards the back of the boat. He's taking cover in the shadow there. You can see him clearly on our thermal vision. Is that a bird? Yes, that was a bird. Right. Looks like they are moving the vehicle up now. Appears that the Counterterrorism Task Force have neutralized several of the terrorists. We are gaining some altitude here to try to get a look towards the top of the vessel as well. Shots fired again down in this area. I believe the counterterrorism team is making entry onto the boat now. There's some shooters there as well. I believe he is firing out towards the boat at this time. now firing towards us. So this gentleman in the white shirt is firing what appears to be a small caliber weapon at our helicopter. And I believe he will find that that won't do him much good. Firing at the boat again as well. Gentlemen have been exchanging fire with the police for several minutes now. Unknown if any officers have been wounded at this time. Go ahead and check thermal vision again. You see several heat signatures. I'm unclear as to what the CTTF team is waiting for in regards to boarding the boat, but these officers are trained professionals and will act accordingly. The best tactical situation they can come up with. Drifting back towards the superstructure a bit here to try to give you better angles. So shots being fired at the boat. You can see the civilians are just going about their day, as they are wont to do. Drifting over to the other side of the boat now, trying to give you a good image of what's going on there. We can see there are several team members of the counterterrorism task force team. They are still in cover behind their Bearcat. There's another terrorist right there as well. I just picked him up on thermal. He is blending into the shadows very well. They're exchanging fire with him. They are moving up towards the gangway there, using the Bearcat as cover. I believe one of them was just attempting to use those tanks as cover and thought better of it. Kind of see them a little bit better in night vision here, but it is the middle of the day, so using night vision is pretty dumb. You see several people on the deck there. They're still firing at the wildlife and fisheries boat. Still heavy shots being fired down there. I'm going to drift back around to the other side of the boat here, just to see what's going on with these. We still have that one gentleman there, still firing. Changing fire with police. Firing down the row of containers at this time. Here's the gentleman that was shooting at us previously. Let's we're gonna try to drift around to the other side of the boat again to see if the task force has made entry yet. You don't want to miss their dramatic entry. Heavy fire coming from these terrorists on deck here. The Bearcat has stopped. I do see police officers. They have gained the deck of the boat and are ascending the superstructure. They're about to clear the stern of the ship. Okay, so they have elected to not ascend at this time. They are clearing the stern of the ship, while fighting continues towards the bow. Brave officers here have cleared the stern. They're now on what I believe is the port side of the vessel. Still hear more shots here. Let's go ahead and we'll swing back around to the ocean side of the ship. See if we can get some more live images from over there. It appears at this time that the counterterrorism task force team may have these terrorists flanked. Heavy exchange of fire here. You do still see there's one subject there in our thermal vision. They move up as well. There's someone hiding in the shadows there. Checking to see where those officers went. There's one terrorist moving across the top of the deck on top of the cargo containers there. Excuse me. Just saw another explosion go off on the deck of the ship. we stated before, this vessel is reported to possibly be carrying either biological or chemical weapons. We do not know whether or not it has been rigged to blow, and if the terrorists intend to scuttle it or not. However, at this time, no activity of that sort has been seen. Still further fire occurring on deck of the ship. Go ahead and use the... There they are. They have them basically cornered at the bow now. He is saying hello to us again with his small arms. I have lost track of the officers on the deck. See if we can spot them again. I believe one of them is right there taking cover. Several people on the other side of the containers as well. We did just... Sounds like we did just take a hit. You appear to be cornered back here. So exchanging fire with the police. One has to wonder how much ammo these gentlemen are carrying.
We've been alerted by CTTF. We gotta head out.
Okay, at this time we are being ordered away. My pilot is informing me we are being ordered away from the scene. We'll try to bring you best images as we can. We're going to turn it back over to the studio at this time. If we get any better images, we will return. This is Jamie Montgomery, Weazel 14 News. We have resumed broadcasting from above the vessel, which we have been informed that the Counterterrorism Task Force has secured. They have eliminated the terrorist threat aboard the vessel through a heroic and bloody fight between terrorists and the brave officers of the Counterterrorism Task Force. At this time, there is no further threat, according to the San Andreas State Police, aboard the vessel, and officers will continue to be on scene to sort out the issue. However, at this time, we are going to go ahead and discontinue broadcasting. Jamie 14, this is Jamie Montgomery, Weazel 14 News. Back to you in the studio. Okay, Chief Reynolds, so it's been a couple of days since the fire at the Humane Labs facility. I understand that there's some more information that was released in regards to that fire. What can you tell us?
From what we were told from the security footage of the mechanics and everyone at that scene, they said that one of the main pipelines bursted there and hit one of the boilers, causing it to catch fire.
Okay, I see. And was there a revised estimate of the damage done to the facility?
Revised estimate, they're talking around about $15 million of damage. A couple of the big boilers, and some other stuff.
Any ongoing damage or danger to the community?
No. There might have been a little bit of damage for some wildlife in that area. Our hazmat crews got that taken up. Hey, I got a fire call.
Can you tell us what it is?
Oh, we got a brush fire over in the over by Mount Chiliad area.
Oh, okay. Well, we're definitely going to want to cover that as well. We will get the news helicopter and we will head that way. Here we see firefighters responding to the scene reports of a brush fire in the Chiliad wilderness. We're going to go ahead and record them coming in here. And we are going to, members of the San Andreas Volunteer Fire Department arriving on scene. We are going to go ahead and get up in the news chopper and bring you live coverage of the fire. This is Jamie Montgomery live in the Weazel 14 News helicopter in Raton Canyon, headed down Cassidy Trail, where you can see below us thick black smoke coming from what is believed to be a large wildfire raging in the Chiliad State Wilderness. You can see that the San Andreas Fire and Rescue is on scene. I do see what appears to be an exploded vehicle down there. We are unsure at this time of the source of the fire. However, reports do indicate that there may be a family inside the flames. Fire crews are going to attempt rescue as soon as they can. They will be assisted by the San Andreas Wildlife Service, game wardens, and the San Andreas State Police, as members of the Volunteer Fire Department battle the blaze. Wildfires can be a very tricky thing for firefighters to fight. Very dangerous as well. These people are very, very brave and dedicated to their jobs. It sounds like there's another, I believe they call these brush trucks, arriving on scene here to assist with putting out the fire. see, you can see the smoke from the Great Ocean Highway. We're going to ask at this time that anyone viewing from home stay away from the area. Let these guys do their work and keep them safe. We don't want to see anybody else get stuck inside this fire, if indeed it is true that there is someone stuck in the flames or trapped inside the fire area there. Let's circle around to the other side of the river and see if we can see anything in the smoke. Even our thermal is masked due to the fire. We're not getting very much of a readout on it at all. I thought I may have seen some people down here on the rocks. Yes, I believe that I do. No, I'm wrong. Those are not. That's just embers from fire. Very hot fire burning down here now. I do see the firefighters are on scene here. You can see them spraying water onto the fire, trying to get it under control. Again, unconfirmed reports. There is someone right there. There is a family trapped there on the rock. The fire had cut them off from exiting the area. Firefighters are trying to get to them at this time. They're covered in the smoke now, having difficulty. You know, that's got to be hellishly hot and smoky down there for them. Hopefully they're all right. They'll be seen by medics as soon as the firefighters can safely get to them. You can see they are bringing the fire under control now, dumping copious amounts of water on it. Still a couple hot spots left down there. Some people were out for a swim today and more than they bargained for. See, there is still active firefighting going on here. Maybe too hot. Okay, no, we do have a firefighter getting up on the rock to get to them now. Heavy smoke still in the area. Firefighters have made contact with the family trapped on the rocks. There he is. Kind of disappeared in the smoke there for a second. Still heavy smoke coming off of the fire as the firefighters continue to battle the blaze. We do have a fisheries or a wildlife boat on scene now as well, probably coming to take the family out. Getting as close to the rocks as he can without risking his boat. Looks like he is going to try to take them down the rocks. Okay, no, the boat's moving. Okay, he may have them. Yep, he's having them jump down onto the beach there so that they can board the boat safely. Still hear that there is ongoing fire battling going on up there. Still a couple hot spots. We can see a large amount of flames on the rock face there. Probably burning brush. You can see the family is now being taken off on the boat. Firefighters assisting them to safety. Their firefighters are moving into the fire area. You appear to have the blaze mostly under control. Here's that the state police are also on scene now. Helping search from the other side of the river. He may be the one who spotted the family up on the rock before the game wardens to retrieve them. Looks like he's safely ferried them across the river. They'll be exiting the boat. That last hot spot looks like it's been put out, and while there does appear to be damage to the forest, the fire does appear to have been brought under control. Luckily, it didn't ignite any further than it did, thanks to the brave efforts of the San Andreas Volunteer Fire Department, or the San Andreas Fire Department, I should say.
Come on!
We can hear a civilian yelling from the ground. That's impressive. She has a very loud voice. But we're going to go ahead and turn it back over to you in the studio. This is David. This is Jamie Montgomery. Weazel 14 News. Back to you guys in the studio.